In today's video I'm going to be restoring this old fire extinguisher. I got this from a auto jumbo, a local auto jumbo. I think it cost me something like £10, something like that. It's not in bad condition. It's a little bit sticky on the actual pump, but that's to be expected for the age. I'm not going to actually take this apart, I don't think, because I think that's going to be seized on there solid. It looks like somebody may have tried to get it open at some of the time and put it in a vice or something, because it's got a little bit crush marks there. But these I'm just going to leave in. Little damage there, so it's been dropped at some point. So the tip is actually broken as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it as much as possible, polish it to a mirror finish to get a really nice glossy finish, and then I'm going to put a water slide transfer of the label on. This is just a black and white printout of the actual label I'll be using, so it'll look something like that in colour, of course, in a water slide. So I think that'll just finish it off nicely. So first things first, I'm going to give it a really good clean, degrease it all over on the other bench because I don't want to ruin my brand new cutting mat, and there's no fluid in it at all. I just think it's a really nice piece. I may even make a little stand, a wooden stand for it, just a display stand, so I can just sit on the bench, something like that, probably like that with the actual logo showing. I think it look quite nice. Should show the letters up on there as well. So first things first, like I said, we'll give it a good degrease and a clean, and then we'll start actually doing the polishing stage. So I'm over here on the other bench. All I'm going to use really to clean up first of all is just some spray panel wipe. Just give it a bit of a clean over to get any oil and grease off it. It's pretty cleanish, just needs that really nice shiny bright aluminium finish. And it's nice, as you can see, it's not overly dirty. Give it a really good wipe. Get in here with a toothbrush, I think. Got one here. Yeah. Alright, so I'll give this a really good clean, like I said, and then we're just going to get it on the polishing mop. See if we can brighten all the actual finish up. So I haven't actually got a bench polisher as yet. I've just got my old drill, which I attach into my vise. I've used this on a few previous videos, you may have seen me use it. When I'm polishing bolts and things. I've got some different fittings as well now that can go on polishes just to get into little tricky areas. I've also got one of these little 240 Scotch-Brite pads, so I may use that on any rough parts. This may be safe for some of the other projects like the blow torches, which will be coming up in other episodes. Got a medium coarse pad on there now, so I think I'm going to go for a coarse pad first, get some of the pitting and marks out of it. Probably something like that. Trying to go for the coarsest one. That's the coarsest one I've got, which is more of a grinding finish, almost like the Scotch-Brite, but a little bit softer than the Scotch-Brite pad. I'm going to use this for now. Make sure it's all tight. Really old-fashioned drill this. This drill's probably 30-40 years old. Yeah, that's FT. Let's plug her in. Let's see what sort of mess we can make of this then. So as you can see, that's coming up really nice, and that's just the first stage. There's 2 more stages to go for that. Then I'll hand polish it to give it a seal so it doesn't get corroded back and dull back as much as possible. So it's going to be probably hours of this to be done, so give you an update in about 20 minutes or so and see how we're getting on. So a little progress update, and you can see it's coming up really nice. There's a little bit of pitting still, but the second stage probably get that out. But I'm really happy how that's coming out now. I've been on this probably 20 minutes, so I've got a couple of sections to do in this tail section. So it's just going to be a display piece, so I'm not really bothered about the dents and things, like I said. I think that's going to look really nice. As you can see, it's coming up lovely. So more polishing to be done. Still carry on with the first stage, get all the areas done with the first stage, try and go over it a little. There's the water slide going over there, so I'm not too bothered about the pitting under there, but I'll try and get some of the pitting out here as much as I can, just to make it look, you know, glossy and shiny. It's quite a futuristic thing for the, I think it was 1930s, this sort of thing, on the side of a car or sort of a motorbike, and that put your fire out. Fill it full of chemicals and then you squirt the fluid out and hope for the best fire didn't spread. So I'm pretty much polished all the way around now. Anyway, that's coming on nice. I've gone onto the softer pad now, and I'll be using the slightly softer rouge. I think that should just bring the gloss up. Then I've got my last stage, which is a really soft pad with the white actual rouge, or Dura's rouge, or metal polish, or whatever you want to call it. So I'll start this now. As you can see, it's just really refining the scratches on there now, making it really glossy. Okay, so I'll continue doing this and go all over it again. Probably take me about another 45 minutes to an hour to get all the actual areas all nice and buffed. Remove some of the actual dirt and polish as well, and then we'll do the final stage. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm really happy with that. I think I agree, that's a pretty nice finish. It's chrome over brass. But they knew how to design things in those days, didn't they? Fire extinguishers that look like a piece of art. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give this a nice coat of wax, I think, just to seal all the actual shine in, and then I'm going to make a little wooden stand for it to sit on, and then we'll do the water slide. Just going to use a little bit of detailer. It's from Mirror Image, just to clean up a little bit, get rid of any stray wax and polish. Give me that extra bit of protection. I'll have to degrease this area here before I actually put the water slide on, otherwise I think it'll probably stop it from sticking. It's such a nice glossy finish. I'm very pleased with that, it's come out really nice. Okay, so what I'll do now, we'll have a look at the water slide. So I've just sprayed the clear coat onto it, and I'll explain the process of how you make them in a minute, and then we'll think about making the actual wooden stand for it. Right, so this is the actual water slide I'm going to be using. It's just this one, this pyrene one here. I've just actually sized it to actually fit. I got these images online, then I used Photoshop just to resize them and cut them out a little bit, and then I got a some water slide transfer paper. This is a white, you can get a clear as well, but I think white would be better. You stick it through your inkjet printer, print your images onto it after you size them, then you have to coat them with a clear coat, just a normal aerosol lacquer. I think I used, yep, a crystal clear coat just over the top, 2 or 3 coats. You let that dry, then you cut the actual transfer out, and then you soak it in water like you'd normally do with a water slide, and then you just pop it into place. So I'll be using this one on my burners, these 3 on my burners, and this one I'll be using on one of the oil cans. That's still a little bit tacky, so I'll let that dry off a little bit more, but we'll have a look at making the actual wooden stand first before we do the water slide. So I've just got a few scraps of pallet wood here. I think I'm going to do something like that, with some little cutouts in there. That'll be to the same width. Do some little cutouts so that can sit maybe like that. I think quite nice. Maybe a little bit further back, so I've just done a little cutout there. Yeah, I think that'll look nice with a little logo showing on there. Yes, it's all going to be sanded and waxed and made to look nice. But I think I'll cut these to size first, and then I'll cut little hollows in them. Probably just something. Just get that pen. Something like that, little cutout there like that. Something like that, just for that to sit in the back there. Not too massive. And then another one on this side, a bit bigger. I've got to cut all these out by hand because I still haven't got my jigsaw. I'm going to see if I can purchase one in the next couple of weeks. So this is all going to be done by hand. And then I'll smooth it all with a grinder with a floppy disc on it, just to make it all nice and smooth, and then we'll screw it to that. Glue and screw, or even glue and nail, sand and wax it all. I think it'll look quite nice. So I'll get on with that next, and I'll give you an update when I've got all these pieces out. So I've actually joined all the actual pieces together. All I've got to do now is give them a really good sand, round all the edges off, give it some stain and some wax. I think that'll look quite nice. That's all on there like that. So while the actual stain is drying on the wood, I thought I'd just get the water slide done. So what I'm going to do is carefully cut around the actual transfer. These are the ones that will be coming up in other videos soon, if you're interested in those. Keep an eye on the channel. Nicely around the... I did probably 3 coats of the actual aerosol clear over the top of this. It seals it in to the actual transfer quite nicely. This is a white water slide paper. You can actually get a clear as well. Clear's alright if you're doing it onto like a white background or something like that, but if you want any actual proper depth and colour to it, I find the white's the best. Oh, went offline there a little bit, that was clever. So we can fix that. Right, let's pop that out. We can get some water. I might just trim that. You know, I balls that up a little bit. It's quite difficult to do it around the camera. Yeah, that'd be fine. Okay, so move those to one side for another day. I think that should fit quite nicely on there. So I'm going to get some water now, a little warm water, and leave that to soak in there, and then we'll hopefully slide it on. It should look quite nice. Right, to do the water slide, you're just going to need a tray or some sort of pot to hold your graphic in. I'll be using one of Woody's frisbees. It's the easiest thing I could find. It's perfect size, and some water. Drop a bit of that in there. So, and then just drop the water slide in. It'll curl up. In theory, you're supposed to let it curl, and then when it stops curling and it flattens out again, it's ready. I'm not so sure on these homemade ones, so I'm just going to give that a few minutes, and then we'll give it a go. I don't want to go too much, leave it for too long, and I don't want to leave it not long enough, because if you leave it not long enough it'll tear. Too much, just the glue will just come off with the actual transfer as well. While that's soaking, I'll just have my cup of coffee, have a cappuccino on me, and get down there. Right, hopefully that might be long enough. Let's try it. So we'll put it in place. Yeah, perfect. Then we'll slide. You can see this on camera. Slide the back in, holding the graphic in place, sliding the back out, and it's upside down. Total twat. Yeah. That was close. That's better. That was good. Right, so now get a little bit of fibre and just dab that excess water out. Then we'll leave that to dry 10-15 minutes. Hopefully the wood stain will have dried then. I can sand that again and then give that a coat of wax, and that'll be done. But I think that looks pretty good. Not quite in the middle, is it? I think that's better. Right, stop playing about with it, let it dry. So I'll get rid of this, and Woody will be happy to get his frisbee back. So, I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that has come out really nice. Yeah, it's only decorative, but it's come out really nice on my workbench or maybe on a shelf. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I think that label really sets it off. So there'll be a lot more videos like this coming up in next couple of weeks or so. The next one I think I'll be doing will be this old oil can. I'll be stripping this down, cleaning it all and repainting it, putting a new label on it. I think I'm going to do this in a red metal flake, I think. That'll look quite nice. So look out for that video, which will be coming up next. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you on the next one.